Step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to episode 42 of Before the Horn podcast. I'm your host, Day. I am missing Khalil and Dino today. They're out handling some stuff, but hey, the show must go on. And I got two guests coming on, but we got our first guest here. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. He's a longtime friend of mine, so go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Cameron Schimmel, met Day in the Marine Corps, UFC fan, NFL fan, love all sports. So,
Like I said, hey, my dog, he loved UFC, he loved NFL. We be chopping it up in DMs, but I'm happy to have him here on a podcast. He was excited when I reached out to him, and he's happy to be here. But today we got a nice episode ready to go for you guys. We're gonna be talking about the NFL Divisional Round as it starts on Saturday. Got a lot of games to cover and we're gonna give you guys our picks for those games. For this weekend, UFC 297, we got a pretty solid card to go over. We're gonna give our picks and move on with that. Also, we're gonna talk about Joel Embiid, center for the Philadelphia 76ers, your 2022 MVP. And my question to you guys is going to be, is Joel Embiid going to win back-to-back MVPs? And my last topic for tonight, are the Boston Celtics actually contenders or pretenders yet again? Boston is on fire right now. They have the best record in the NBA, but we're going to give those predictions later in the episode as well. But for our first topic, we're going to kick it off. Let's start with the UFC. UFC 297 is this Saturday on ESPN Plus or on pay-per-view. Make sure you guys tap into that. Got a pretty solid card. We're going to give our predictions.
oh yeah,
All right, let's start off with the first fight of the night of the main card in the featherweight division. We got Arnold Allen, who'll be taking on Asvar Evloev.
yeah. My pick for that one, and there, Evloev, he's undefeated. I think he's got 6 or 7 fights in the UFC, 17-0. But his last fight, he fought short notice newcomer to UFC. They just signed him. His other opponent dropped out, and he really struggled. And Arnold Allen's only loss in the UFC is to Max Holloway, which everyone loses Max Holloway. So I'm taking Allen for that one. I think he's just gonna. I'm calling second round knockout. I don't think Evlov's on like the level that Allen's on. Hasn't faced a competition, and he's just not there for the top 5 yet.
Wow, that's a pretty bold prediction, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm happy that you brought up that Arnold Allen lost to Max Holloway. We already know the Blessed Express, Max, he's one of the best featherweights, let alone one of the best UFC fighters of all time. Evloev has his work cut out for him for sure. Arnold's not going to be a slouch. Evloev is opening off as the favorite for this fight, but I'm with you, man. I'm going with Allen in this fight as well. I'm going to go with split decision in this fight. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I think the judge is going to have a hard time calling this fight, but I think Arnold has the edge. But it's definitely going to be a haymaker fest for sure. But these are both pretty good strikers. They don't have that much losses. Arnold only has 2 losses. Evloev is undefeated, like you said, but I said Allen's going to give him that work. But I'm going to go Allen split decision.
Yeah, that decision's good. Decision's good too, because Evloev, I think all like his last 10 fights have all been decision. So decision is a good call too.
Most def. All right, let's move on to the next fight in the main card. In the middleweight division, we got Chris Curtis. He'll be taking on Marc-Andre Barriault.
I got Chris Curtis 100% on this one. When he came in the UFC, he came in 3 years ago. He was already so experienced. He got a bunch of knockouts. He had a rough 2023 kind of. He had no contest. Super close decision loss to Kelvin Gastelum. A lot of people thought he got robbed. And
He did get robbed
Marc-Andre,
that fight.
that fight he definitely got. That was a
Got
robbery.
robbed.
Marc-Andre, he's a good fighter, but not up to the competition. And Curtis is only improved. He's like Strickland's main training partner. They do everything together. They train together, and they both improved so much in the last like 2 or 3 years, especially. So I'm calling Curtis. I could see a late knockout or decision win on that one.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I got Chris Curtis in this one as well. I mean, he is open in favor at minus 185. But Marc-Andre Barriault, he's not that bad a fighter. I think he's solid.
Yeah,
He's coming off. He's a 2-fight win streak right now. His last fight was in June, and he got that win, unanimous decision. But I'm happy that you brought up Chris Curtis, his training partner, Sean Strickland. As you know, right now he's a middleweight champion. But Chris Curtis has been in the UFC for a little minute now. He's got his feet wet within this company. This is his 41st fight. This is his 41st fight.
40,
He has 30 wins. So honestly, yeah, I like him as a favorite as well. I'm calling it. I think second round TKO for Chris.
Yeah,
Calling it. I like that.
Yeah, he's got crazy. I mean, he knocked out Brendan Allen in like his second
Exactly.
UFC fight. Brendan Allen's now like top five middleweight. So he's been fighting the top competition since he got in the UFC. So yeah,
Honestly.
I'm surprised he's only a 185 favorite. That's good. I'm gonna be betting on that one because that's a good money making line right there.
Most definitely. Put y'all money up in that one. All right, third fight of the main card in the welterweight division. We got Neil Magny taking on Mike Malott.
This one, I feel like this one they're giving it to Malat. He's a Canadian. It's a home crowd for him. He's 10-1 coming up. He's looked crazy knockouts, submissions. I think all his UFC fights were finishes. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I know he's got some crazy finishes. Neil Magny, he just got destroyed by Ian Gary. He's
Yeah,
kind of been a gatekeeper. He's been
he is a
right
gatekeeper.
around in the rankings for the last like 5 years, and then the last year he's kind of been just beat up a lot. Gatekeepers maybe eked out one win, but yeah, I think this is a gimme fight to Malott to set him up for a nice big top 10 position later in the year. So I'm calling Malott. I think that's gonna be a submission. Neil Magny, he's a good fighter, but he's just not there anymore. He's on the tail end of the career and this up and comer. It's one of those he could surprise us all, but I'm calling Malott submission.
Honestly, bro, the last time I saw Neil Magny fight, I knew he was a gatekeeper before then, but that fight against Ian Gary last time, he got
Uh,
wrecked. He
yeah,
got wrecked.
he
That was
got
just a
played
bad
with.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I mean,
looked like he didn't belong.
exactly. Like we talked about that on this podcast as well, that fight that he had with Ian Gary back then. But I think UFC is setting up Malott for a run as well. I mean, he's gonna be in Canada. That's where he's from. He's
Yeah,
10-1. You are correct. All his fights have been finishes, besides one
yeah,
decision loss. But Mike Malott, dude, he's on a roll. I think he's gonna take Neil Magny out. I'm gonna say it right now. I think he's gonna be second round TKO yet again. I just Neil Magny, like you said, he's one of the gatekeepers. He
yeah,
just doesn't have it in him no more. His last year in 2023 was rough for him. I don't think he's going to be in the UFC that much longer. I just don't think he has the same spark and stamina and everything behind him. Well, stamina, I'm not going to say that. He definitely doesn't have that same spark, but
yeah,
kind of the gatekeeper UFC, like he just can't go up. He's just always like where he's at, he plateaus or just goes down.
yeah, yeah. He never breaks like past that top 10. He'll always hang
Exactly.
around the top 15. He can beat a few like ranked guys coming off losses and stuff, but he's never. And it's crazy when you look at their ages. Malot's only like 4 years younger, but their careers are so different.
So
Malot's
different.
still the fresh fighter. Magny has what 40 fights, and
Yep.
they've all been against like stiff competition. He's got beat up a lot, so
Yeah.
I think that's an easy Malott. I'm pretty sure I was looking on DraftKings earlier. He's a huge favorite, like
Huge
minus
favorite.
400 or something.
Yeah. Well, right now, according to ESPN, is minus 370, but that's still something you want to put your money on to get an easy
Yeah,
come up if you want
yeah,
to go
that
with that.
there you could put him on by finish either way, like knockout or submission. I don't feel like that one's going decision. That's going to be a finish for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm
Ian
like I said,
Gary
second
should have
round TKO
finished.
for me.
Yeah, Ian Gary should have finished Magny. He was toying around with him, being whatever Ian Gary does, but Malot's going to finish that job easily.
Most def. All right, let's move on to the co-main event of the night. For the women's bantamweight championship, we got Raquel Pennington. She'll be facing Myra Bueno Silva.
Yeah, it's one of those fights. It's going to be a good bathroom break fight, but I don't know. I'm calling Silva for that one.
Yeah,
Pennington, I mean, you can look at her record, 15-9. She has fought good people. She's beat some, but she always seems to get those losses on the like big stage.
yep,
Can't win the big fights. Silva, I mean, she's more up and coming. She's strung together some good. Her last one was a no got turned over to no contest because she popped for
she popped for
on a drug
AHG.
test. Yeah, but I mean, she beat Holly Holm pretty
She beat Ali Holm
easily.
by this. Yeah, she beat her by
Yeah,
submission.
yeah, and that's what I'm. I feel it's gonna be the same type of fight against Pennington. They're kind of her and Holly Holm, kind of the same fighter. So I'm calling Silva for that one. I mean, hopefully it's a fun fight. I'm not really counting on that. I wish they would have put a better co-main for this event, but it's the first pay-per-view of the year, so they'll improve. But I'm calling Silva by decision for that one. I always call decisions on female fights because the percentage is crazy. They're always decisions.
Most of them decisions, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Bueno Silva in this one as well. I mean, last time we saw Bueno Silva fight, she beat Holly Holm. And Holly Holm is another one of those gatekeepers. Bueno Silva,
Yeah.
she's pretty fresh, but she's only 10-2 in that one decision, no contest, because she, like we both said, she popped on drug test for ADHD.
Yeah.
But in that fight against Holly Holm, she looked dominant.
Yeah,
And you
she
talk
looked
about
good. She looked
really good.
and that division ever since Amanda Nunes left and stuff, and she got that loss. That's kind of that division's falling apart.
It
Hopefully,
is.
this brings some clarity to it. Get a new champ. Maybe they can
Well,
start defending some instead of it switching and stuff. But it's one of those
yeah,
women divisions where it's not as exciting as the lower weight women ones, like straw weight and stuff. It's a lot more exciting for women fights, but hopefully they put on a good show. But that's definitely I'm doing Silva decision for that one.
yeah,
Don't
I'm going right
expect
with you.
much.
I think it's gonna go to decision, or if it doesn't go to decision, I'm gonna say Siva by third round finish, whether it's submission or TKO, or probably knockout. It's just Raquel Pennington, like you said, when the bright lights are on her, we saw her lose to Holly Holm, we saw her lose to Mana Nunes, like we saw her lose to a lot. She lost to Holly Holm twice, by the way. We saw
Yeah.
her lose to Jermaine Day Ramadami, how you say her last name? She lost to Jessica
She's got
Andrade.
she's got a good
She,
run going kind of right
yeah,
now, but it's mostly
she does.
like
She's on a five fight. She's on a 5-fight win streak.
yeah, but she's fighting. I mean, her one win, Aspen Ladd. She's not in the UFC anymore. She's in a PFL now, and she's kind of just been fighting just half these fighters she's beat in the last 4 years are all cut from the UFC or not even ranked anymore. So she's kind of she has a win streak going, but it's not as impressive as it sounds. So I don't think she's
Exactly.
gonna do much.
Exactly.
But
Before that
kind of
win
there's
streak,
no one else to give it to, so they gave her the title shot.
just think about it. Before that win streak, she was 10-9.
Yeah, yeah,
Pretty much
that's
almost at
crazy.
almost
Yeah,
point 500 record.
she
Almost.
almost had a losing record, which is crazy. And women's MMA, you see that a lot, but men's MMA, you're not going to see that.
Most def. All right, let's get into the main event. We've been talking about this one for a while, and I've been pretty excited about this one since these guys got in a fight in the crowd at the last
Oh
UFC
yeah,
for the middleweight championship. We got Sean Strickland making his first title defense against Dricus du Plessis, who is now the #1 contender. Who you got in this one for the title, bro?
Strickland retaining the title. It's going to be a good fight. It could go. It's one of those ones. My heart wants Strickland. My mind says Strickland, but there's also doubt because Duplessis is an animal.
He is an
Before
animal.
he recently got that nose surgery. He had the deviated septum. He got that fixed. So his fights before, when he fought like Darren Till, Derek Brunson, he looked rough. Everyone thought, oh, he has no cardio because he was breathing heavy. That's just he couldn't breathe out of his nose. So a whole
Mm-hmm.
fight. I mean, if you work out at all, do anything physical, you know you need to breathe through your nose and your mouth. So his mouth was open. Everyone thought, oh, he's gassing. And then when he came out and fought Robert Whitaker, destroyed him. Robert Whitaker didn't look like he belonged there, and Robert Whitaker's been the second best middleweight since
Probably.
the
Yeah,
last 6 years.
in a while. Yeah.
Yeah,
Long
a
time.
lot of people are saying he's been the second best like forever, saying he's up there top 5 all time middleweight. He just couldn't beat Izzy.
Can't be easy twice.
But yeah, Duplessis came out, destroyed him, knocked him out. He's big, strong, real big for the division. And he looks the pictures of them all week and any picture of him, he looks like he's 230 at least.
And he's
And
he's gonna weigh in tomorrow probably at like
yeah,
185, pretty much. Like
yeah.
that's
And
crazy.
then probably fight night he's gonna be 210, 215.
Most definitely.
But so he's got the chance. I mean, but Strickland's style, man, it's working for him. He's really fixed his defense since he got knocked out by Alex Pereira there. He's fixed that. He worked with Alex after that. He fixed all that. And I think Dreykus has a chance to get that early knockout. But when Sean fought Abu Magomedov there, and when he fought the Imavov, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
they were hitting him with everything they could, and he was taking it. So I don't think he has a
That Philly
chin
shell.
problem.
It's that
Yeah,
Philly shell defense.
yeah. I don't think
That
he
Philly
has a
shell.
chin problem. People think like he's got. I mean, he got knocked out by Pereira, which I mean, everyone gets knocked out by that guy.
Pereira
Come
been
on.
putting a lot of people on their butts.
Yeah.
So
And then his only other knockouts were in welterweight when he was cutting off 35 pounds and everyone loses their chin. So I'm calling Strickland. I'm calling decision. I think it's going to be a lot like the Jared Cannonier fight with Strickland. It's going to be a decision, close. And I think champions always retain the belts on those close decisions. So that's what I'm calling.
Bro, this fight can go either way, honestly. Like you mentioned, the last time we seen Dricus Du Plessis in the ring, he made one of the best UFC middleweights of all time look like they didn't even belong there in Robert Whittaker. That fight made me think like, dang. And now I did more research on Dricus, and I'm like, this guy's actually pretty good. And I watched his past fights. I'm like, this guy's pretty good. He's pretty darn good. Now he's the number one contender. Izzy's taking time off, so he's facing Sean Strickland. And you talk about Sean Strickland on the other hand, the last time we saw him, he beat Israel Adesanya. It was one of the most one-sided UFC fights I've seen in a minute, especially a shocking fight with Izzy. My decision for this fight, I'm going to say Sean Strickland as well, by decision. I think we'll go down to the wire. These guys have a ton of respect for each other. Of course, they have to sell the fight. Yes, they fought in the crowd at the previous UFC main event. They had to be separated, and Du Plessis didn't press charges on Strickland because Strickland did kind of inside the fight. But this is going to be a great fight. I honestly didn't know who to pick prior to recording this podcast, and I've been thinking since like Monday. I was like back and forth, just watching tape and watching the past fights of these guys. I just like Strickland a tad bit more, but I would not be surprised if Du Plessis gets him up out of here around the second or third round because he's very, very capable of doing that.
Yeah, he's big. He hits hard. One thing that worried me with Strickland was I see he put on a lot of muscle for this fight, which I mean I don't think it'll affect his stamina much, but that's always been like a big thing since cardio. Like in the 5th round against Izzy, he had still looked like he hadn't even fought. So I'm hoping the muscle, like I know he put that on because Dricus is a big guy. He didn't want to get thrown around by him, but I'm hoping that doesn't mess his cardio up. But yeah, that's a fun fight. That's for the first pay-per-view main event of the year. That's
a pretty solid main event, right?
Yeah,
I think it's good. One. It's a good first title defense for Sean Strickland as well.
Oh yeah, I like this. It's a good winnable one, and also like they got the whole beef building up to it. It's good. It can definitely. And both their names grew so much. People are starting to like Dricus. He didn't press charges on Sean. Like the whole situation's good. It's good for the sport. Good fight. I'm gonna see, man. Could be a new middleweight champ. Who knows?
Could be a new one, or we could be staying in still. But hey, we'll all find that out on this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys tune in to UFC 297 live on ESPN Plus or pay-per-view coming from Toronto at the Scotiabank Arena. Give us your predictions in the comment section below. Let us know you guys think there's going to be a new middleweight champion. Let us know you guys think there's going to be a new bantamweight champion, where there's going to be Buena Silva or Raquel Pennington. Give us your thoughts as well about the first 3 fights of the main card as well. We want to hear all that below in the comment section. All right, before we move into our next topic of the night, I let Juice join to give his picks as well. Juice is a prior guest on here, but I'm going to let him talk his talk right quick. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, back on the Before the Horn podcast, my man D Black. Shout out Cam. Shout out Dino and Khalil too, man.
All right, man. Thanks, bro, for joining us. I appreciate you coming on here. Thank you for all your continued support. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into these NFL Divisional Round picks. Like I said, we got 4 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. The winner moves on to the respective conference championship. Let's get into the first game as the AFC South champions, who picked up a huge win over the Cleveland Browns last week. CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans are traveling to face the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens with possible MVP Lamar Jackson at the helm. Who you got for this game, Juice?
Me and Cruz was talking about this game earlier, like before I got on the podcast. Cruz said that he liked the upset. He said that he liked the Texans going in there and winning. But I gotta be real, man. I like Lamar at the crib getting the job done. His second playoff win at the crib, taking care of business. Zay Flowers, Odell. See what them boys do.
They're probably getting Mark Andrews back too from injury.
Yeah, Mark Andrews be ready to go. Coming back. Marlon Humphrey's not playing though. But we're gonna see what the Ravens bring to the table. I like Baltimore to get the job done.
Okay.
Baltimore, 100% Baltimore. CJ Stroud, he ain't ready for that pressure. Lamar played almost best season of his career. I've been following him close because he was my fantasy QB, and he's been going crazy. And I don't think the Texans are going to handle that pressure. You're going there. I'm doing Baltimore, and I don't think it's going to be a close game at all. I don't see any upset happening. I'm taking Ravens domination.
Ravens domination. Wow. Not gonna lie, Houston looked really, really good last week. They defeated a top 3 defense in the Cleveland Browns. CJ Stroud and the Texans put up big numbers on offense. Their defense, 2 pick sixes on back-to-back possessions is crazy. When Joe Flacco had the hot hand, like you bring up CJ Stroud and that pressure, that offensive line is not that great. Baltimore is one of the best defenses in the league as well. You bring that Marlon Humphrey might not play. That's going to be a big loss in secondary. But still got other guys like Kyle Hamilton. You got Stone in the secondary. These guys can play. Don't forget about their front 7. You got Roquan Smith in the middle. I'm not really worried about if they miss Marlon Humphrey. I think the Ravens can still get it done at home. I like this offense of the Baltimore Ravens. You know, we've seen some inconsistencies during the season of Baltimore's offense, but once they started clicking, they click really well. You bring up Odell, you bring up Zay Flowers. Nelson Aguilar has contributed as well to an extent. You getting back Mark Andrews possibly. Isaiah Likely has stepped up for Mark Andrews. And this offensive line is a top 10 offensive line in the league. So I think that it is all too much for CJ Stroud and the Texans. They're going to be ready to play, but I like Lamar and the Ravens. I'm not going to say complete domination, but I think the Ravens are going to win by at least 10 or more. So I'm going to take Baltimore at the crib as well.
Then you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield too.
I forgot about Dalvin Cook, but he's been kind of a nobody in my opinion. Like last 2 years.
Inconsistent, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I still respect Dalvin Cook though. But
it would be cool seeing the Texans though, rookie. If they pulled it off, it would be cool. But
yeah, the Texans pull this one off, man. The league in trouble with CJ, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Most def. I mean, Baltimore's already favorite -9, so if y'all want to put some money on that, go ahead and do that. All right, on to the next Saturday game for the NFC Divisional Round. Jordan Love and the Packers, who stunned the Cowboys in Jerry World last week. They're the 7th seed, traveling to the Bay Area. They're traveling to San Francisco to face the 1-seeded San Francisco 49ers, who have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. Who you got for this game?
No. I like the 49ers to get the job done. I like Green Bay going down there, put up a good fight, but I got the Niners winning it all, winning the game.
I got Jordan Love taking the Packers all the way.
Whoa.
I call
upset.
I call Packers Bills Super Bowl at the beginning of the playoffs, and I'm sticking with that. Packers going to go down there. Out of the 2, I mean, they look like the more complete team after last week's game. Like, Cowboys were supposed to be good. They were big underdogs going into that. They held up the pressure. They played, and Love played a perfect game almost. They all play good. Their defense was strong. Like, I'm calling Packers winning that one. Close game. Could go either way, but I'm picking Packers.
The Packers, man, I don't know, bro. Every time these teams face each other in the postseason, the Niners have their number. Dating back to when Brett Favre was there, Aaron Rodgers was there. Like, every time the Packers face the Niners, no matter who's at the helm for the Niners, whether it's Garoppolo, whether it's Colin Kaepernick, the Niners they end up winning. Whether it's Alex Smith.
Got new blood. It's new teams.
I understand that. The average age for the Packers on the roster is 25 years old.
Yeah,
what they did to the Dallas
team, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah, they are. What they did to the Dallas Cowboys last week was very, very impressive. That is unforgettable.
It was shocking.
It was shocking. Like no one's gonna forget that. You still got Cowboys fans disgruntled to this day about that ass whooping that they got last week. Jordan Love did play it out
on paper than it was.
It looked close on paper, but if you watch the game, it was not close.
That wasn't close at all. They let him score the whole 4th quarter. They just let him score.
Pretty much. Jordan Love played a hell of a game last week, but this Cowboys defense is a great defense, top 5 as well, but they're not the Niners defense. The Niners defense is probably the 1st or 2nd or 3rd best in the league. You can argue that they're probably number 1. The Browns, they dipped off a little bit. The Niners defense is for real. Starting from their D-line to the linebackers, they got the best linebacker in the league. Their D-line is sicko. Their secondary, crazy, with Various Ward and Lawar on back there. You got Sean Gibson. You got Jair Brown from Trenton, New Jersey. He'll make his first playoff start.
Yeah.
This team is loaded. I don't see the Packers going into the Bay Area at Levi Stadium and knocking off these Niners. I think the Niners are going to win. I think the Niners are going to win by 14 or more. This Packers,
21?
They can't. Nah, just 14. I'm saying 14 or more.
21?
Nah, I'm not gonna disrespect the Packers like that, bro.
14 or more.
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. I do not see an upset like you see upset, bro. But I'm gonna take the Niners at home. I'm not all about the Brock Purdy hype and everything, but I think he gets it done against this Packers team. Too young, too inexperienced. Besides Matt LaFleur at the coach position, but I'm gonna take the Niners for sure. All right, let's move on to Sunday's games. In the NFC Divisional Round, Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, who absolutely rocked the Philadelphia Eagles last week. They are the 4th seed. They'll be traveling to Ford Field in the Motor City to take on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, who spoiled Matt Stafford's return. The Lions are the 3rd seed. They are at home again. Who you got for this one?
I'm supposed to have my boys in this one, but we came up short. We lost to the Bucks.
Came up more than short. The Eagles got smacked. Eagles
came
got
up
spanked.
short.
Nah,
Came
that was
up
more than short, buddy.
man. But I'm going with the Lions on this one. Jared Goff been looking good with the Lions offense. CJ Gardner-Johnson finally get to come back and play with the secondary. And Aiden Hutchinson been putting on the show, man, with the line. So I'm going with the Lions on this one.
I'm taking Lions too. Last week they showed complete game against the Rams. Took care of business, close game, but still home game. I think the Lions are making that run. They're definitely gonna knock the Bucks out. Bucks look good against the Eagles, but Lions different team. I'm taking Detroit.
Not gonna lie, this game you can kind of consider as a toss-up if you really want to. The Bucks, the last handful of games in the regular season, they have been shaky. The way they got into the playoffs was shaky, but they dominated record-wise one of the best teams in the league. We know the Eagles were very dysfunctional in the last 6 games of the year. They put on a complete dominance of Philadelphia last week on Monday. On the other hand, you got the Detroit Lions. Saturday, they played against – no, I'm sorry, not Saturday. Sunday, they had Matt Stafford come back to Detroit. The Lions looked really good in that first half. The second half, though, they didn't look as good. They didn't. I feel like they took their foot off the gas pedal, and I said this in the previous episode. The Lions took their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. They almost let the Rams back in, but the Rams just couldn't convert in the red zone, and their defense folded when they needed to make stops. With that being said, I think this is going to be a close game. The Lions are favored, but I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think the Lions win by at least 6 or more. I think the Lions, they got to get it together on defense. These Bucks receivers, they're going to show up ready to play. The Lions secondary, I don't trust nobody in the secondary except for the safeties. I don't trust their corners, but I do like CJ Gardner-Johnson at safety, and I do like rookie Brian Branch at safety. He's really good at covering tight ends. He's going to shut down K-Dot and probably. The matchup for the Bucks is to stop Aiden Hutchinson on defense, try to attack the Lions defense with the run game, because the Lions have one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. So if they can get Rachaad White going, they'll be fine. But I'm really excited to see how these Bucks receivers are going to match up against this Lions secondary, especially the corners. I don't think the corners are going to really match up well against Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. And Trey Palmer, they turned up last week as well. But I just think Detroit, they're going to keep that momentum going. They're going to defend their home turf. I think Detroit wins by 6 or more. So I'm going to lock that in.
You got what are the odds on that one?
The odds on this game is
that Lions favorite.
Lions are favored by 6.5, -6.5.
Okay.
6.5.
I thought it was a little close.
Yeah. So that's literally what I'm predicting. I think the Lions are going to win by at least 6 or more.
There's good money on that line. Yeah,
it is. Good. I will go with that.
Yeah, definitely take Lions there.
All right, last game of the divisional round on Sunday. I believe this is like part 3 or part 4, but in the playoffs. But in regular season, I lost count how many times these quarterbacks faced. We got Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the 3 seed. They won the AFC West. They defeated the Miami Dolphins in a freezing game last week. For the first time ever in the playoffs, Mahomes will be traveling to the Buffalo Bills. He'll be facing his nemesis, Josh Allen, and the Bills Mafia. Who you got for this game?
This game all depends on who start off the game hot, who come off the bat, scoring first. But I'm gonna have to go with Pat on this one. I'm gonna take Pat.
You just hurt Cam's feelings, man. You see that blanket behind him? You see that blanket behind him? Hey, show him the blanket right quick, bro. Show him the blanket right quick, man.
Buffalo.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
I'm going Buffalo, 100%. Kansas City's coming home. They're coming to us. They're not going to be able to handle that. We played them, regular season, our record, Josh versus Pat's 3-1. Playoffs, we're down 0-2. That one last game, 14-second game, all that craziness. I'm not going to let that happen, Buffalo. Going last week's game against the Steelers, refs were on our side for once. We're at home. Refs going to be on our side again.
I almost choked it low key.
We did, but Mahomes isn't getting any of them lucky calls. He's in Buffalo. Taylor Swift isn't saving them. No. Bills by at least 7. And it's going to be a nice, smooth game. They're going to the Super Bowl. Kansas City next year, maybe they have a chance, but this is where their season ends. Sunday.
It ends in Orchard Park, huh?
Orchard Park Sunday.
Nice.
They're going to dig themselves back home out of the snow.
Honestly, going to this game, the Bills are favored at -3. That's not a bad spread. I think
That's
this is
not
going to be a
bad.
close game. Not going to be a blowout by any means. This game always goes down to the wire between the Chiefs and the Bills, whether it's in the regular season or in the playoffs. Like you mentioned, Josh Allen's record against Patrick Mahomes in the regular season is 3-1. Against Mahomes in the playoffs, I believe he's 0-2 or 0-3.
0-2.
So he's 0-2. If Josh Allen can get over the hump, they'll be fine. But it all depends on this. Who can make more plays on offense? Who can not turn the ball over? Turnovers has been a huge issue for Josh Allen this year, as well as Patrick Mahomes. His just isn't as transparent. But we know that he had a lot of turnovers this year. We know that.
Allen's had a lot. Yeah. He's had
Josh
almost
Allen has a
every
lot.
game. It's guaranteed he's going to get an interception.
Most likely.
You're going to throw a pick.
The matchup I'm excited to see is L'Jarius Sneed versus Stephon Diggs. That's going to be a great matchup. These guys are always having a battle. But also, how can the rest of the Chiefs secondary go against these Bills wide receivers? Like Shakir, those guys are pretty inconsistent. But Dalton Kincaid at tight end, that guy's he's on the come up. I think he's going to be probably the next Travis Kelce.
I just got his jersey in the mail. a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Playoffs.
He's a stud.
He's looking good.
He's a stud.
Gabe Davis playing on Sunday?
He's out, I'm pretty sure.
He's out.
I think Davis
so
out.
Gabe Davis is out. If Gabe Davis is out, that's going to cause another problem for this Bills offense, but I'm pretty sure Josh Allen can improvise. With that being said, as inconsistent as the Chiefs offense has been with the drops and everything, they got to clean that up. I can't bet against Mahomes and Andy Reid in the playoffs. I can't. I learned my lesson with that. I'm not doing it. I can't, bro. I'm going to take the Chiefs going into Buffalo, game-winning field goal by Harrison Butker. I think it's going to be really close. But the Chiefs receivers have to step up. Kelty, with those 3 drops last week, he has to step up. He's going to be a mismatch against y'all linebackers. Y'all have a lot of linebackers hurt right now.
Yeah,
that secondary for Buffalo.
More last week. Yeah,
exactly.
We got hurt bad.
Exactly. That secondary in Buffalo needs to step up big time. We saw Rashee Rice go off last week. Other receivers for the Chiefs, though, need to step up as well. So, like I said in the beginning, it depends on who can clean up the turnovers, who can make more plays for their quarterback. But it's coaching as well. Sean McDermott facing his former boss and Andy Reid. They both used to coach together in Philadelphia. I just like Andy Reid and Mahomes just a tad bit more in this game. And I'm not trying to disrespect Josh Allen and the Bills. They're a respectable team. They caught fire late in the year. They're the second seed. They went from probably not making the playoffs to becoming the second seed in the AFC. Very, very impressive.
5% chance to make the playoffs.
Exactly. Very, very impressive. But this game, I got to go with Mahomes and the Chiefs. I'm sorry, bro. I got to go with Mahomes and the Chiefs. Harrison Butker, game-winning field goal. But it's definitely going to be a duel Sunday. Mahomes, Allen, part 4 in the playoffs. I'm ready.
It's going to be best game of the season, hands down. It always is. Need Diggs to Allen and Diggs to get that connection back too. That connection's been off. It's starting to come back. That's what we need. We need Diggs. He's the man we need.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are our picks for the NFL Divisional Round. Like I said, 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. Give us y'all predictions in the comment section below. You guys see any upsets happening? Like Schimmel does, he sees the Packers upsetting the Niners. Do you see the Texans upsetting the Ravens? Do you see the Buccaneers upsetting the Detroit Lions? And do you see Mahomes and the Chiefs upsetting the Buffalo Bills? Or do you see any dominant victories? Let us know all that in the comment section below. We want to hear it. All right, Cam. I appreciate you being on this podcast, bro. Thank you for joining us for episode 42.
Yes,
I'm glad you were able to be a guest on our podcast, man. I've been wanting to have you on since we came out. And I told you, we DM each other. You said, I got to be on there one day. And I said, most definitely, bro. You definitely will. And this won't be your last time being on here for sure. So is there anything you got to say to the viewers, whoever's watching or listening?
Hey, thanks, y'all. Thanks for having me, guys. Follow me Instagram @Shim. And yeah, man, make them UFC picks, make them bets. I'd be posting UFC bets on my story too. So if y'all want to follow, got a pretty good winning record, make a little money. So thanks for having me.
Most def. Do that. I ain't gonna lie, he is the plug for picks. Bro, if I'm you, I'm making an Instagram page of your bets.
Yeah, I know. I've been
but make it private though. Make it like private. You need to do that shit.
My God, tap in.
Most def, tap into him. But I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, you
Thank
guys
you
have a
so
good
much for
night.
being on here,
Thanks,
man.
man. Yeah, thanks,
I'll see you,
guys.
man.
Have a good one. See ya.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move into our third topic of the night. We're going to transition over to the National Basketball Association. I got an interesting topic at hand. The last, I'm about to say like 5-6 years, the Boston Celtics, a team full of talent, primed to go to a championship. Last time they went to an NBA Finals, they lost to the Warriors in 6 games. But every year, the Celtics either they make it to the second or third round and they fold, or they make it to the finals and fold. And this year, the Boston Celtics, they're 32-9. They have the best record in the NBA. They have the best record in the East. They're undefeated at home with a record of 20-0. My question to you, Juice, like it is every year, are the Celtics contenders, or yet again, are they pretenders?
The Celtics are contenders in the East. The Celtics got everything over there. Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Drew. I don't know. I got y'all for being contenders, but can y'all just like finish? Like y'all been there every year. Y'all beat us in 7. Then y'all went down to Miami, and then y'all lost to Miami, a playing team. And every time, like me and YB talk about this all the time. Like his favorite thing to say is Tatum got hurt, but it's like y'all got Brown, y'all got other stars on the team that like where they at? Why they can't show up for y'all when Tatum not there?
Valid point. So pretty much you're saying the
Like
Celtics are pretenders.
the Celtics are contenders, but like is Jason Tatum the key to y'all like success? Like is Tatum that one that like hold the group together and be like, all right. Like is Tatum y'all Jordan and is Brown y'all Scotty, or is it just he just Jordan and he carried the team?
Well, you tell me, what do you think?
I think like now that y'all got Porzingis, like the Celtics can make it far because it's in the East this year. But it's like, is Porzingis gonna be healthy? Is Porzingis gonna be consistent? Just like y'all get on me about Embiid, is Embiid gonna be consistent?
Not gonna lie, bro. As this big time Celtics fan, I'm tired of disappointments every year. Every year they say Boston has one of the best rosters. We got key defensive players. We got offensive talent. Got superstars in the making. Now they're actually superstars / all-stars. They just can't finish. They get to the finish line or they get close to it and they fall on their face. We've had different coaches. We've had Brad Stevens, Ime Udoka, and now Joe Mazzulla. What's next? Do we need more pieces? This year, this is probably the best Celtics roster I've seen in a while. You bring in Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis in the offseason. You move Al Horford to the bench. You bring Derek White to the starting lineup. The supporting class players are playing really, really well. All your starting lineup players are averaging over 10 points a game. Tatum is averaging 27. Brown's averaging 23. People saying that he wasn't worth the money. Should he be averaging a bit more? Yes, I agree with that. He should be. But there's too many.
He can't dribble with his left hand.
He cannot dribble with his left hand. I'm a Celtics fan, and I hate that. He cannot dribble with his left hand. How you getting paid $300 million and you can't dribble with your left hand? Get it together. But my gripe with the Celtics is, one, coaching. I feel like Joe Mazzulla be too soft. When Ime Udoka was there and his first year as a head coach for the Celtics, they went to the finals for a reason. Joe last year, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals and they got knocked out by a playing team. Yes, they took Miami to 7 after being down 3-1, but they shouldn't have been down 3-1 in the first place. Even prior to facing Miami in the Eastern Finals last year, they struggled with Atlanta in the first round. Then they struggled with Philly in the second round. Philly should have won that series. Philly was up 3-1.
We should have beat y'all.
Exactly.
We should have beat y'all in that second series.
Philly was up 3-1. Then you go to face Miami the next round, and you take Miami in 7, but you were down 3-1. So inconsistencies are the problems with the Boston Celtics.
So D Black, I have a question for you.
What up?
As a Celtics fan, do you feel like y'all are contenders or pretenders?
I was about to get into that. Not trying to be biased or anything. Every year, the Boston Celtics are contenders. They are every year, 100%. As long as you have the J&J firm, Jason and Jadam, they are contenders, without a doubt. They are contenders. It depends on if they can run past that finish line. What we have seen the last handful of years with those two guys is one is off and others on, or one's on, others off. It's like up and down. When it matters the most, we've barely seen them both on together. But there's no excuse. You bring in, like I said earlier, you bring in Porzingis, you brought in Holiday, defensive anchor. and you could argue top 15 point guard at his position. Definitely on the defensive side, multiple defensive of the year.
Derek White, y'all got Derek White.
I'm sorry, multiple All NBA defensive guards and Derek White and Drew Holiday. Boston, they are contenders. I'm not gonna lie, they are contenders. Yeah. Our threat in the East is the Sixers and the Bucks, without a doubt. Everybody else, I'm not worried about in the East.
Whoa! I wouldn't say that.
I said the Sixers and the Bucks. That. I'm not worried about nobody else in the East. Who else do the Celtics have to be worried about in the Eastern Conference? Who else do the Boston Celtics have to be worried about in the Eastern Conference? Please tell me. Please tell me who else Boston has to be worried about.
Say nah. I'm telling with you. Y'all got it.
I'm not gonna lie. Miami, the coaching, yes. Eric Spoelstra, hell of a coach. He concerns me as well in the playoffs. Yeah. But in the playoffs, right now, Miami's barely hanging on to the 6th seed. They could be a play-in team yet again next year, but they're a dangerous team.
Don't be the first seed. Don't be the first seed and lose to Miami. Don't let that happen. Because if that happens,
hope not. Yeah, they're pretenders for sure. One of them gotta go.
A phone call from me.
Hey, it's all right. Hey, I'll chop it up with anybody. But like I said earlier, Boston is contenders. They just have to be consistent. And I'm not gonna lie, this year, if they don't make the NBA Finals and actually try to win it, there's no excuse. They are now pretenders. They are potential frauds. I'm not gonna lie. As a Celtics fan, we've been potential frauds the last 5 or 6 years.
Whoa.
They've been potential frauds. They've been potential frauds.
The Celtics frauds?
Whoa. They've been potential frauds. I'm not wrong. They have been. You can't say they made it far and fell on their face. We seen it last year against the Heat. Bro, y'all was blowing my phone up last year in the Eastern Conference Finals when we was down to Miami 3-1.
I was.
Y'all was saying, yo, y'all ass. Y'all suck.
I was blowing up your phone when we was up 3-2 on y'all. When we should have won that series.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, bro. And even we in the Celtics faced the Atlanta Hawks. I know a handful of folks that I met in the military and outside the military that's from Atlanta that are big Atlanta Hawks fans. And it's like, bro, y'all suck. Y'all can't even beat us. We trash. I'm like, bro, it's so many growing pains being a Celtics fan. But Boston, in my opinion, as a fan, you were hearing this from me, you will be labeled as frauds if you don't win the NBA Finals. And that's coming from a Celtics fan.
And not worse than the Sixers fan.
But ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section below if you guys think the Boston Celtics are contenders or pretenders this year. Like I said, the last handful of years we've seen this team, they've been very inconsistent when it matters. During the regular season, they look great, but when it comes to the playoffs and finishing, they just can't do it. But this year, the team is different. There's no excuses, in my opinion. They have a great supporting cast. They have a great starting lineup. So can they actually make it and finish, or will they flop on their face again? Leave that all in the comment section below. Let us know whether they are pretenders or contenders. All right, let's get into our last topic of the night. Let's talk about our 2022 MVP, Joel Embiid. This year, yet again, Joel is going crazy. I mean, we just seen him outplay Nikola Jokic last night when the Sixers beat the Denver Nuggets. We see him outplay Nikola Jokic in the past before. Last year, Embiid won the MVP, but failed to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals as he never got past the second round in his career. Jokic won the NBA Finals MVP and the NBA Finals as a whole. But let's just talk about Joel Embiid, bro. Is Joel Embiid going to win back-to-back MVP?
Me and my friend was having this discussion like 2 nights ago. I asked her, I said, do you think Embiid going to win MVP? She said that she feel like Luka might get it because she a Mavs fan.
Luka.
Then my homie. Yeah. Luka. And then my other man, like, we was there just chatting about it. But I feel like Embiid going to win his MVP again. But right now, I don't care about, like, winning MVP. I just want him to be healthy so, like, we can get past the second round. That ain't, like the big picture is the finals. I don't care about the MVP. I want you to do what you're doing now in the second round against Giannis or Tatum or somebody in the East. Tired of seeing Embiid getting hurt. Tired of seeing
Embiid folding.
Him quitting. Yeah, him quitting. Now we just gotta put it to the plate now. I feel like Nick Nurse being there, like, that's helping us out in the long run. Like, Embiid numbers improved from last year to this year. He getting everybody involved. He getting his teammates involved. Maxey took a leap step because his game was hard and left. Now it's just like, can we finish at the finish line. Just like you said about Boston. Can y'all
Can
finish?
y'all finish, bro?
Can
Can y'all finish?
Can we finish? Can Embiid get us to the Eastern Conference Finals this year?
So you're, as a Sixers fan, you're more, which I agree with, you're more worried about Joel Embiid taking the Sixers to the finals and actually winning the chip, not about the MVP.
Sure.
Hey, I 100% agree with that. But my question to you is, do you think he's going to win the MVP again? Because look at the rate he's going at.
Yeah.
So you think Joel Embiid's going to win back-to-back MVP?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your reason why, though? I want to hear that, man.
My reason why is like he's been dominating since like the first couple of games of the season are he was like averaging like 20 a game. Then after that, like his numbers just went up, averaging 35, 12, and 6 from last year. I mean, I can't say like, is Embiid the best big in the league right now?
Joel Embiid currently, statistical wise, he is the best big man in the league. Actual best big man is Nikola Jokic, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's because he been to the second round. He been to the Eastern Conference Finals because he ain't been to the finals. But I feel like once Embiid get there, then like people will give him the credit that he get.
In my opinion, and I agree with you with the whole I don't care about MVPs, I just want to get to the finals and win. I agree with you, yes. But we will all be sitting here in line and be saying Joel Embiid isn't primed to win a back-to-back MVP. It's like this man's going crazy. Yes, we're only like about 29, 30 games in, but he's averaging more points than he did last year when he won the MVP. Right now, he's averaging 35.1. Last year, he averaged 33.1. He's averaging more steals. He's averaging a tad bit more blocks. He's averaging almost twice as more assists with 6.1. I mean, he's averaging over a rebound that he did last year. Last year, he had 10.2 average. This year, he's averaging 11.6. His free throw percentage is up by 3 whole percentage points. We know big men aren't the best at shooting free throws. This man's going to get fouled. He's going to go to the line a lot of times during the game. We know that about Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
He can definitely win the MVP again. The Sixers are third in the East right now. They are doing great. But just like you said, the problem with Embiid is his consistency when it matters and his health history is not the best. Look at his track record. We've seen him sometimes give up in games. Like last year in Game 7 against Boston.
Last year, Game 7, prime example. Him and Harden both quit on
him and Harden, they both quit. The year before that, it just wasn't good. You can go back as many years as you want with Joel Embiid. Phenomenal player, just can't get it done in the postseason when it matters. Yes, he is primed to win back-to-back MVP. In my opinion, right now, he is the best statistical big man in the league. Jokic is the best all-around big man. Every time he faces Jokic head-to-head, he outduels Nikola Jokic. I'm not gonna lie. He's better than him.
That's because he only played Jokic in Philly. And Embiid ain't played Jokic down in Denver yet.
Exactly. And we got to see that. But, I mean, I want to see it in the playoffs, but can the Sixers get there? Can they get past second round? Probably not. They're known for just choking it up. Let's be real. You're a Sixers fan. Don't try to BS me right here. You know y'all can't probably get past the second round. They're going to let y'all down. Yep. They're going to let you guys down.
This year?
They're going to let y'all down. Let again.
No. I feel like
y'all
this
down
year we
yet
get
again.
past second round. We get past second round.
You think so?
Yeah.
So who y'all see in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I'm looking right at him.
Oh, you think it's going to be Sixers, Boston?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually pretty valid, but let's see if the Sixers can make it past second round first. But is Joel Embiid definitely primed to win back-to-back MVP? 100%. You will be lying if you say this man is dominating. I mean, let's be real. The last time this man had dropped 20 points was against the Boston Celtics in November in the in-season tournament. That's the last time we've seen a 20-point game out of this man. He dropped games in a 30-point range, 40-point range. We've seen a couple 50-point games. This man is a different breed this year. Like I said, he's averaging 36. His numbers are better this year than last year when he won MVP. So is he carrying the Sixers yet again? Yes. But this supporting cast that he has, they actually seem all in. The past supporting cast we've seen of Joel Embiid hasn't been the best, but this year, I feel like if this is Philly year, I feel like if it's a year that could possibly be Philly year, it could be this year. They need a little bit more help, but I would not be surprised if Philly could probably make a run to the finals. Probably. But hey, we'll see.
I'm going to see you at the finish line.
Hey, we'll see, but give us your thoughts and opinions about Joel Embiid in comment section below. Is Joel Embiid going to win back-to-back MVP this year? He's going on a tear. His numbers are great. They're better this year than they are in last year, 2022. Can he win it again? Or we succumb to Giannis, Jokic, Tatum, Luka. Like, come on. Let us know. Give us your
you
thoughts and opinions
crazy.
about Embiid winning MVP back to back yet again in the comment section below. Put your bias aside for once, sir. Put your bias aside for once, please. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Before the Horn Podcast, episode 42. Thank you guys for joining us for whatever platform you guys are watching or listening to us on. We appreciate you guys' support, all the feedback we've been getting. We love and appreciate all that. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys follow us on our socials. Follow us on Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast. Follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Before the Horn Podcast. Also, take a look at our Patreon down in the description box. Patreon is a way to have immediate access to us. We do have t-shirts. We do have trucker hats coming soon. We will put that stuff out there. Patreon get a lot of perks and everything. We definitely have a lot more guests on at once with our Patreon. It's a first interaction basis with us on our podcast. But make sure you guys check out our Patreon. We appreciate any donors for as little as $2 a day. Y'all can help us out. But hey, Juice, I appreciate you, bro, being on this episode 42. We were a prior guest in the past. I appreciate you coming on this podcast last minute and being a guest of mine. Is there anything you got to say to the viewers, whoever is watching or listening?
Nah, I don't got nothing to say, but just keep supporting the guys, man. You know, keep tuning in every week for the show. Shout out D Black, Dino, and Khalil. And if you ain't vote, go vote and beat him actually for the All-Star game. Get my boy in the All-Star game.
Y'all know he go hard for them guys if y'all haven't noticed by now.
Shout out Tatum.
You a clown, bro. Again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for listening or watching Before the Horn Podcast, episode 42. We shall see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.